So in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to do the rear brakes on a BMW E34. We're going to be demonstrating this on my 1995 525i. It should be the same across all models. Now, we are just doing the rears in this video. I will be doing the fronts in a future video, which I'll have linked up in the top right corner when that comes out. But they are generally the same. Things just kind of look a little bit different suspension-wise. I think all the bolt sizes, everything are mounted up the same, so you could use this to do your fronts as well. But all that being said, let's go ahead and just dive in. So these are all the tools that you're going to need for this job. Going from left to right, you're going to need a C-clamp or some other kind of tool to be able to compress the caliper piston itself. You're going to need a flathead or any other type of small pry tool. We'll get to that in just a moment for what we're going to be using that for. You're going to need a 15mm socket, a 5 and 7mm Allen, and if you're using screwdriver bits like I am, you're going to need a 1/4-inch drive socket to be able to turn those as well. You're going to need your socket wrenches to drive these. You're also going to need some Sil Glide or other lubricant for your slide pins, and brake clean and some shop rags. All right, so obviously I already have the car up in the air, securely on jack stands, front wheels chocked, and I have removed the rear wheel. The first step I recommend you do is removing this little retainer bolt on your rotor if you're planning to replace your rotors. I am replacing the rotors. And the reason you want to do this now is sometimes if these are really stuck in there, you just end up spinning the whole brake and everything. So what you can do is have someone sit in the car with their foot on the brake to lock this in place. Or if you're doing this on the front, you can slot a screwdriver into the vents on the rotor itself. That way it can only rotate so far before it jams up against the caliper so that you can continue to torque that off lefty-loosey. Now, that being said, this is a 5mm hex, it's a Allen, so you could hypothetically use an Allen wrench. These are usually a little bit more stuck than that, so I just end up using a bit and a 1/4-inch socket, and I lock that in there and just turn that to the left. And I don't have anyone sitting on the brake pedal for me, so I was just able to hold that by hand. But again, sometimes these do stick and you need someone to hold those brakes for a little bit of extra hold. All right, so that's this little screw out. A lot of your new rotors will come with new screws, but just in case, be sure not to lose this in the meantime. All right, so working our way back to the caliper itself. First of all, there's this little retainer clip right here. You can take a flathead screwdriver, something to pry with, and just go between the rotor and the clip itself, push that way, like this, and that little clip will pop right off of there. So now at this point, I'm gonna go ahead and unplug our brake wear sensor. You can see this wire coming out of the caliper. So the brake wear sensors are only on the back right or the front left. So front left and rear right are the corners that have the brake wear sensors. So that being said, to remove these, there's this little cap on the bleed screw for your brakes. You pop that cap off, that's part of what's holding the wire in place. And then up here is where the brake wear sensor plugs into the car itself. You can pop it out of this little clip right here, this little plastic clip, and then it's simply a straight pull backwards, like that. All right, so that's out of the way. The next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a C-clamp, something like this, about this size, that you can twist and it pushes together. It can be a C-clamp, it can be some other tool that you decide works. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this side, the flat side, against the back of the caliper, somewhere where it's not where the hose meets up to the caliper itself. There's a little lip right here behind the bleed screw. I'm gonna line up on that. I thread this out a little bit, get that situated on there, and then I'm gonna start threading it in. And what's gonna happen is this is gonna depress the piston all the way back in. We're just gonna keep going until that piston is all the way bottomed out. I think we're there. We have stopped moving. So I'm gonna take this C-clamp back off. We're all done with that. All right, so our next step is gonna be to remove the 2 slide pins from the back of the caliper. We're looking at the back of the hub assembly right now. And so removing these slide pins will allow us to actually remove the caliper itself from the bracket right here. Now we will be removing the bracket itself, but we'd have to remove the caliper from the bracket to be able to put the new pads in, and then the bracket has to come off. Specifically just to do the rotor. So if you're not doing your rotors, you don't have to remove the caliper bracket. So our 2 slide pins are under these little caps. There's one here and one up here as well. And we're just gonna use our same pry tool that we used earlier, and we're gonna pop these caps off. All right, so that's that cap out. This is what it looks like, little plastic cap. We're gonna do the bottom one down here as well. Pops right out of there. Put those to the side, don't lose them, they're really important. And now at this point, the slide pins are right up in here inside of these rubber boots, and they are each a 7mm hex, so an Allen. Now these shouldn't be too tight. They don't really get super tightened up, so you probably can get away with an actual Allen wrench, but the socket wrench can be useful when they're a little bit stickier. All right, so that's this slide pin out. This is what your slide pin looks like. Threads down here, hex up there, just in case you're curious. So we will be cleaning these and re-lubricating them before reinstalling them. Make sure to keep these clean. Don't get these all gummed up. Get the top one real quick. There we go. So now our caliper is totally free from the car. It's just balancing here. I'm gonna pull this out. Our pads are going to separate. So this one just kind of slots into the bracket. The rear one that should have the sensor in it actually clips into the piston itself right in here. It's got this little clip on the back. And now we don't want to leave this caliper just hanging here because that puts a lot of stress on the brake line. So you're either going to want to stack something up right here, get a bucket or something to set this on, or better yet, hang it up out of the way, up on your shock if you can. So I'm just going to take the caliper. I like using these reusable zip ties. Run that through there. So we're once again on the back side of our hub assembly here, and we're gonna go ahead and remove the brake caliper bracket. Now again, you only need to do this if you're replacing the rotor. But that being said, it is held on with two 15mm bolts, one right here and one right up here. I'm using my 1/2-inch drive ratchet. You might need to use a breaker bar on this if yours are really stuck and haven't been off in a while, but I've had mine off recently, so this shouldn't be too terribly difficult. That's the bottom one loose, and then top one right up here. So they're on there pretty good. All right, here's what this bolt looks like right here. There we go. And our bracket is off. So one thing to note about the bracket itself is your pads do kind of slide in these channels. So one thing you might want to do is take a wire brush or something to clean this out with to get the rust and stuff if yours are a little crustier like mine are. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. There's not a whole lot of sliding that goes on because they don't move very far if you think about it. They only move far enough to engage and disengage. They're just kind of squishing together. It's not like they spring open or anything. So not a huge deal, but it is good to clean these channels out so things don't end up sticking. And now we can go ahead and pull our old rotor off. Sometimes these can be rusted to the hub and you might have to hit them a little bit on the back to get them to pop off. But mine are free and ready to come off of there. Now we've got our new rotor down here. We're gonna go ahead and use brake clean on this to scrub off the factory coating because that can affect the performance of your brake. Because these do get coated with an oil in the factory to prevent them from rusting while they're on the shelf. If you've noticed leaving your car in place for a long time, your brakes rust up really, really fast. That's because of the material they're made out of. And the only way the factories can prevent that is by oiling them, and we don't want oil on our brakes. Now we can take our rotor, line it up with this little hole where the retention screw threads in. Speaking of which, I've got my new screw right here. Again, that's a 5mm. Don't worry about torque specs, just tighten it up hand tight. These don't need to be really cranked in there. They're not doing anything besides preventing the rotor from falling off when you pull the wheel off. So please, 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 for the sake of everyone working on your car in the future, don't make that crazy tight. All right, so at this point, we're ready to mount our caliper bracket back up. That just slides in here like this. We line that up there. So these do torque to approximately 90 foot-pounds. I just get them really good and tight since this isn't really an issue of deforming the metal and they're pretty hefty bolts. I just snug them up to where you're comfortable and call that good. Back on the front side, we're gonna go ahead and take our new pads and get them installed. So the one that doesn't have this clip on the back, the one that does not have that clip, we're just gonna slide into the retainer like this. Make sure it's nice and up against the rotor so we don't have issues fitting the caliper back on. And now this pad, there's two things that we need to do. First of all, we need to reinstall our brake wear sensor so we don't get any annoying little lights on the dash. And then we also have to clip it into the caliper itself. So this one clips into the caliper. So I've got a brand new brake wear sensor right here. And all we're gonna do is we're gonna take the side that has this little nub on it that goes towards the rotor itself, which means it goes on the pad side of our brake pad. And there's this little slot in the back. And we're just gonna slide this in here until it clicks in like that. Bring our caliper back down and around, and the wire feeds through this slot right here. And then the clip clips into the piston, like so. And now, with our piston depressed, we should be ready to slide our caliper on. So for some reason, my pads aren't fitting in here, even with the piston fully pressed in. So I'm gonna remove these little shields on the back and see if that gives me enough room to install them. They are designed for this car, so I'm not sure why they don't fit. And so now our caliper should just slide onto here like so. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and reinstall our slide pins. Before we do that, again, you wanna clean them real good. This is just a rag with brake clean on it, and you wanna get all of the old grease off, and then we're gonna re-lubricate them. So this one looks about as good as it's gonna get. A little bit of rust around the bottom. If that spans up into the main part of the pin, you're gonna wanna replace these. But that being said, we're gonna go ahead and lubricate it. I have Sil Glide. I'm just gonna put a little bit on there and then spread it around with my finger. So little tiny dollop, spread it around. Even that was probably a little bit too much. So a nice even coat on the pin. And then we're gonna take that pin, we're gonna stick it in like so. Gonna take my 7mm, again it's a 7mm hex. Gonna get that one started, and then I'm gonna get the top one started. Take our 7mm, put the pin in the hole. So again, these do have a torque spec. It's between 20 and 25 foot-pounds, but again, it's not something that you really need to worry about torquing. You just snug them up decently tight. I call that good. Get the bottom one. Nice and snug. Now you're gonna put these little caps back on. These are really important for keeping your pins clean. There we go. And then last but certainly not least, we're going to plug our brake wear sensor back in. So again, this little cover that covers our bleed screw, it kind of hooks in there like that. Cap that back off, take our plug. That's what it looks like on the inside. The other end is the same, just inverted. And then push them together like so, nice and sealed. And then you clip it back into this little plastic clip right behind the rotor, just like that. And now with our brake wear sensor plugged in, we're gonna make sure that there's no tension on anything, brake line is not twisted, and just make sure that everything is riding nice how it's supposed to. Very last step, take this little retaining clip, press it in like this, and you're good to go. So that's everything that you need to know to be able to replace the rear brakes in your BMW E34. And again, I will be doing a video on the fronts here shortly, so stay tuned for that. And if you found this video helpful, be sure to like and subscribe. And until next time, I will catch you guys in the next video.